Hey everyone, and welcome back to this shrine. Was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought we'd have to do a dungeon or something, but no, it's right here.
Beckoned, thou hast come.
Well, oh,
Door open.
we do have to do a dungeon. So my bet is her essence is like intrinsically tied to the...
Hyperion, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, follow the light.
Pretty. Deviation.
These. I doubt that anyone has walked these halls since they were first shaped. I wonder if the words Arcais spoke were true. Farewell.
Ooh, I don't know why she's
the flower
running
was
backwards.
on the right side.
I know, I'm just doing a couple of things that I noticed on the way in here. I'll do that. I just... There's a thing. It's... Oh, that's frustrating. There's a secret... Oh, the secret door is the exit. Well, then I just wasted some time. Anyway.
It's waiting for you.
Yeah, I know. Goddamn spurred ears. Friggin' Durgan Fergan Spurden Durgan Fergs. Berg. Berg Hergen. I should make sure that we haven't gotten some, like, cool primal chakrams, because that would be amazing. Spider sack.
I don't know if we have.
Well, we keep getting primal weapons, so it might actually be the case. Here, I'm going to quickly check. Weapons, primary. We got the Titan's Cuff. I just want to see what this looks like. Not bad. Not nearly as good as this, though. Yeah, I like the fact that they have bioluminescent plants in this game, like left and right. And I don't know, the fact that they actually move and grow as you get closer, that was always kind of a cool thing to me. Of course, leaning back so I'm not just speaking straight into the microphone is always a good thing. Freaking god dang Kradix. Like, of all the enemies in this entire game, I think Krudoks are my least favorite by a significant margin.
They are almost as disgusting as the things you'd find in Dark Souls.
Yeah, they also do a lot more damage than I thought they would do. If you notice, we're actually injured. Which, maybe it's because my old pants were like crazy armor or something like that, or elemental resistance. I don't know. Either way. Still, most things are not a threat to us. And I can heal. So, not big deal. It's another freaking Krudok. You know, they fight actually very similarly to that one enemy in Wonderful 101. The, like, scorpion tank we were fighting. With the weird tail stuff. Except for in that game, blocking was a lot more intuitive. In this game, it's just like, Hergendurgen. Oh, it's a Leonash and a Krudok. I didn't even realize. Oh well, they're not particularly threatening, especially if you've got a good ranged weapon. Oops. We were T-posed for a second there and it was confusing me.
Uh-oh.
Right. We ready to go? Yeah.
More enemies? How long does
Of course.
this go?
Well, you have to pad out content somehow. Like, it would be too easy if we just went to the shrine and it's like, oh, yeah, you know, here it is. Congratulations, you can go back and defeat your villain. No, you gotta kill a lot of things on the way. It's how RPGs work. There's gotta be random preordained battles to slow you down.
I wonder what the other path behind you would have led to. Oh, back to the...
Yeah. So this is where the shrine is, and then we have to go back out that way. Just to simply leave. Which, at that point, I would say let's do a cut, just so we don't have traveling left and right through stupid amounts of monsters with not much to talk about, unless anything interesting happens with the stone. Anyway. I'm miffed that they didn't even, like... They could have just retextured the spiders to be stony or something. That would have been cool. But they didn't.
Or anything else, really.
Yeah.
They should have, like just like the Pteryx, they should have brought in other mythological things.
Yeah. So that did...
Something feels strange, Beckoned. When you harnessed the Earth Shrine, my limbs never held more strength. You look more whole, and I can feel the magic pouring through this land already. We must be close. The Hyperion waits. Very well.
I always find it interesting in this game that if you're like pointed the wrong direction, everything has a weird echo.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, maybe it's the fact that I only ever wear one headphone at a time, so I know what my audio levels are. Because otherwise I start getting kind of shouty. But it is one of those where it's like, I don't know. I don't think people would echo like they're in a bathroom if your ear is not pointing in that direction. But maybe that's just a trick of how they got the audio to work in stereo. Anyway, we are going to kind of skip ahead.
And you're also in a cave.
Even then, caves don't have that much of an echo in them. They got a little bit of one. Caves have a little bit of an echo, but they never have like a really substantial, like the awkward reverb echo. They just have like a, you can kind of hear your voice reverb slightly. But in the interest of not spending all of our time on this episode just traveling back and forth and killing spiders, we'll see you guys in a little bit when we get to the air shrine. Unless something interesting happens. Which point, I don't know.
If I must, then I must.
Oh, we outpaced the shiny thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was dumb. The fact that we even need this thing to leave the dungeon is stupid.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty, though.
Pretty, yes.
You are condemned. If I must, then I must.
That got rid of them pretty fast.
Something feels strange. You look more whole. Be cautious in these lands.
Also, kind of sucks that it can get stuck on the NPCs.
Mm-hmm. All the way up there.
Here, Michelle, will I run up there? Can you grab my phone from the bed? It should be ready to charge. Well, done charging. And can you plug this in its place? Because that thing's almost out of power, and we can't have it. Non-working timer.
Do they both use the same plug?
Yes. You just have to flip it around to make sure it fits in properly. And what's the timer say, by the way?
Oh, I messed it up. The timer says 9 minutes, 14.
Okay, so it's probably like 5 minutes. Okay. Thank you.
I don't know what you mean by flip it around.
Oh, you just have to rotate the USB cord. The ports are...
What cord?
The cord that the phone was plugged into is the exact same cord you're supposed to plug the tablet in, or plug into the tablet. They use the same charging cable. If you can't figure it out, I'll do it on my own.
Oh, I figured
Okay.
It's just there's no flipping around involved.
Well, yes, there is. So the cable points up here and points down on my tablet.
It doesn't matter. There's a port. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. This is an odd cave. I've just been grabbing stuff. Oh, hey, it's a camp. Just grabbing the camp if we have to do more traveling. Ooh! Hey guys, welcome back. So, this is the air shrine. It's neat, and it's kind of like off and floating in the distance. So
Don't
want to see.
fall off the edge.
You can't.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, this isn't Dark Souls. You can't fall to your death randomly. You can't even jump in this game.
Time is at hand. I hear you.
Whee! Yeah, so definitely the Hyperion.
The path opens once more. To think that all this time we had the answer to the Hyperion below our feet. That our road to Anakatos forced us to solve this riddle seems more than coincidence. I cannot say for sure. It is different from the Earth Shrine. This place is thin and cold. But I remember the words Arke said. To harness the air, you must walk on the wind. Somehow this shrine will make that true. Be cautious in these lands.
Blow you away.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Nothing. Ha!
No, across there, yes.
No. We just go around. It isn't that kind of embarrassing. Like, I'm sure there's a switch we toggle or something that lets us go across a wind walkway. But...
Because it reminds me of, Indiana Jones and the whole, have faith and stuff. And it turned out that there was actually a stone path. Just invisible going across that chasm.
Mm-hmm. Was it, like, magically invisible, or is it just hard to see?
I think it was either painted or modeled so exactly that it perfectly blended in with the walls and the floor and everything else.
Okay. Because I actually don't remember the Indiana Jones movies that well.
Really? That was the last one, The Last Crusade.
They all kind of blend into my head weirdly.
Now, I forgot if he actually took a step of faith or if he threw some dust or something out in front of him, like rocks.
I think he took a step of faith, but it could be wrong. But it would make sense for him to throw the dust as well. I don't know. It's an interesting question. It's kind of a shame they, like, stopped making Indiana Jones movies.
Well,
and then
there was the fourth one.
And then went back and made Crystal Skull, which is a joke.
Especially when they had Shia LaBeouf as his,
weird greaser kid.
Well, it was a greaser kid, but also he was the son that he never knew he had with Marion from the first movie.
Yeah, that was also stupid. Like, they could have found
all the women that he had to save or, work with in the various movies, Marion was the best, in my opinion. She was the most genuine. Because what? In the other one, it was some Nazi lady. And then the second one, it was Spielberg's girlfriend or wife at the time, who was just a prissy, I'm going to be used as a sacrifice, save me!
So, she just pulled a Watson, if you didn't notice.
Disappearing and reappearing?
Well, she just teleported into, like, our peripheral vision. Because we had outpaced her. And it doesn't want you to do that. I'm glad we don't have the green glowing orb this time around either. Because that thing was annoying. It was pretty and it was cute, but at the same time, you actually had to stay with it or you couldn't leave the dungeon.
I wonder if Indiana Jones almost followed the same, I don't know what you would call it, trend that James Bond did, where every movie he has a new love interest. Almost like those adventure series or comic books where the guy's always has a new love interest every single episode, and they're going, no.
I think part of it is they wanted to make the Indiana Jones series, each and every movie be standalone as opposed to some kind of trilogy, which I think is a good idea. Because as good as Star Wars is, you really need to see all of them to get the whole story. Whereas Indiana Jones, you could have seen 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. It wouldn't have made much difference. Like, maybe there would be a bit of a reference to a previous movie, but it would largely be a self-contained thing that you'd almost never have to worry about. You know, a detail from the previous coming back through.
I mean, aside from, you know, Darth Sidious talking with Darth Maul about, you know, taking over the galaxy and whatever, I think that Star Wars Episode 1 could have very well been a standalone if nothing else had ever come out.
Very true. But, like, you can't see 2 without seeing 1. 3 would make no sense without 2, 1, and, to a degree, 4.
Well, 4 could actually stand on its own, but it wouldn't tie up loose ends with Darth Vader and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I must, then I must.
And then Episodes 5 and 6 obviously could not be standalones.
Yeah. Like, Episode 4 was standalone for sure. 5, no way. That was... It more or less ended on a cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. And 6 started... weirdly.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. Told you. Activate something, get a wind bridge. She just pulled another Watson.
Mm-hmm.
It's a silverback troll. This is interesting.
Looks like it has some paint on it and maybe different spikes.
You know what? It's still a better effort than they've made with like half of the other monsters. Painted. Yeah. It's more interesting than practically all of the other just bogarts we've run into thus far. And that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not the best thing ever, but it's better than nothing.
Sort of referring to like silverback gorillas.
Yep. And now he's on fire, stunned, and I can take him out.
Gorillas are amusing creatures to watch in the in zoos and such. Especially because they interact with one another and.
Ooh, that's the thing.
What is it? The cipher is whole again. As are you. We can unseal the Hyperion that we might stop Anakatos. And we've done so much more. I thought this all was to bring Anakatos to his judgment. But I was wrong. There is much more at stake here. Be cautious in these lands.
See, I don't think we're even unsealed from fate in this game. It's just that we don't put up with anybody's BS so we can get away with whatever we want. Because except for the one point where we forced to open the door in the Warsworn campaign, since when have we actually used our fate powers for anything of like any real use apart from just murdering the crap out of a bunch of people at once? Speaking of...
It's interesting how you get very little resistance coming in, but it's always when you're leaving.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of the classic, they wait for you to be weakened and then trap you there. Also, maybe...
or they wait for you to get what they want, and then they ambush you at the entrance of the dungeon. This again.
I guess. I mean, it's still interesting enough.
I'd rather you just quickly lash out your chain, hold your sword out, and then drag them into it.
Or, even more interesting, you lash them with the chain, and then proceed to...
swing them Bowser style out of the arena.
Oh. Yeah, like crashing into the ceiling or something.
Let us finish this.
Because that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't do that. Oh well. Alright, and that's it. Let's go back to this thing. Can I tell you there? Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Yep, so he's got the Hyperion doing stuff. But now we can go beat his face in.
What is it?
It is kind of weird also that the, uh-oh. Still more spikes. It's not like us. I wonder, well, I guess it makes sense. So I was mentioning, what, a couple episodes ago? That they never finished this game. So this game was known as a pretty buggy release, which was kind of unfortunate. And it seems like they fixed most of them, but then they shut down and they're like, oh yeah, we got a couple bugs left to do. Oh well, we're not a company anymore, deal with it. And that's always kind of an unfortunate reality with a lot of series. Like, there are a lot of series that should have sequels or just need a little bit more bug fixing and they're perfect. See, this guy looks like a perfect... These guys look like perfect pugilists. You know, just fists and nothing else. Look, he even had, like, flaming hand strikes. Why can't we have pugilist abilities? Because I would love to punch people in this game. Oh, well.
Well, you know, a major factor in this game is what? Is it like a barrier or portal or...
I don't know, but she got hit by the rocks from above, so it doesn't really matter. And
Whoop.
I actually hit her off the edge. I didn't even... I guess that's possible as soon as they get...
As soon as they get weak enough or dead.
Yeah. Just interesting, in a weird way.
Like all the glowing.
Yeah, no, the designs and the artistry remain pretty good. I just wish they, for example, had more monster variety, which would have just required some retexturing and maybe a little bit of, like, model modification, but not that hard. But whomever was the, like, creative director and art team in charge of environments, I think is the only group in this game that is largely beyond reproach. Even if I don't agree with some of their texturing stuff, it's still cohesive and generally less repetitive than everything else in this game. And it still flabbergasts me that the DLC is more interesting than the main plot of the game. Even if it is a tad predictable.
No, definitely.
Because, have I predicted pretty much every single plot twist they've set up for us at this point?
In this one?
Yeah.
I suppose so.
Because
him betraying us and her being
the daughter. Yeah.
daughter of...
I didn't predict What's-His-Face still being alive. So I haven't predicted every single bit of plot twisty type stuff. But I guess that's not exactly a mark of honor in my favor, it's more of just a mark of this game is a little predictable.
It's sort of like what we were talking about before, though, with the similarities between one race and another. I mean...
Why do these guys keep dropping rocks on their faces? They've got these weird portal things and then just, I
don't know, maybe they're just trying to stop your progress and it just results in their own destruction.
Confusing.
Were they just drinking the blood off the ground, or are there corpses here?
There are corpses here. Om-noms for the wolfies.
But what kind of corpses? Considering that we don't...
mysterious chunky variety.
Because we don't really know what the rock people look like with their stone flesh chipped away-ish. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they never really show much for corpses. You know what's interesting in this game? We still haven't figured out what those, like, weird horned lizard corpses are in all the caves.
Yeah, because we've never seen a live one.
But we saw so many of those corpses, and it looked fairly fresh, too. Confusing.
And you'd think they'd be higher up on the food chain, you know?
Yep. Because they're massive. In fact, I mean, they're bigger than trolls, yet everything seems to eat them. They're like the dodo, if the dodo were massive and scary looking, and the world's biggest snack. It's like, I have the capacity to kill you 1,000 times over, but I'm too much of a chump to do so.
Poor dodos.
Yet, the extinction of the dodos is actually one of humanity's larger crimes. That and
what about the passenger pigeon?
The passenger pigeon is the other one I was going to talk about. Animals that exist in fairly innocuous ways, then humanity's just like, hey, we can shoot this stuff! Let's kill them all! in like massive quantities. I guess the
I think
buffalo.
There was an article recently about some guy getting death threats because he spent over $300,000 to have an opportunity to hunt a white rhino or a black rhino.
Yeah.
And supposedly this rhino was past its prime and old and whatnot. But
I mean, how would you feel if you're 70 years old and somebody was bidding on the ability to euthanize you?
Mm-hmm.
I would not be okay with that. And I mean, sure, it's a rhino, but still.
Well, and the thing is, there's so many poachers taking healthy rhinos. There was, I think, this one Indian's refuge that had taken care of this, like, rhino or whatever. Or actually, maybe it was not in India. I don't know if India has rhinos. But there was this one park that actually accepted a rhino family.
You have met and fulfilled our roles.
Oh, there was a weird crash. But he said, "So you have finally come for the good of my people. It is time we beckoned, met, and fulfilled our roles." Alright, so apparently...
he calls himself Beckoned?
Apparently we're not having lag spikes because of this game. It's because I'm running Firefox doing an upload in the background and it keeps crashing on us. Anyway, so he thinks he himself is a Beckoned. So let's ask him about this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not see Athene's intent in this? Are you still blind as to your purpose and hers? I presume that Athene had only one true servant of her will, you. But I would show her that I could enact her goal of purging my people's wickedness. I came here to make the city fall. But when we parted, she began to speak to me, and me alone. For the first time in all these years.
She was probably pleading for her life.
Or the voices in his head started to finally vocalize, as opposed to just influence him.
She brought you here in accordance with her wishes. But though you are beckoned, you are not singular. I was beckoned in turn. You can alter the fate of my people, but to do so, you need a conduit, an offering. And that is the part I have come to play. You know the crimes I've committed to be here. These are the failings of my race. But kill me. Shift my fate here, and you will change the course of my people forever.
Whoa, what? What is this?
The Hyperion was left by the gods. With the cipher in the hands of the Beckoned, it amplifies a specific kind of magic. That would be the magic you wield. The power to change fate. The Hyperion will take your magic and reflect it, affecting all my people simultaneously. So we must show the gods that the time has come. Kill me, and you show our savagery can be beaten. You were beckoned to this, and so am I.
What?
He froze her for mysterious reasons.
Just so that she doesn't interfere.
Anyway.
And we're not even given a choice.
Nope, doesn't look like it, so let's just wail on him. With our... Oh, come on. Come on, I'm in fate mode here. We're in slow-mo mode, too. Aww. Oh, these are just...
What?
It's a weird nuke. This sucks.
Statue nukes.
Well...
Yep, you couldn't finish him off in fate mode either.
I mean...
Why is he saying you will die when he wants himself to die?
I guess he's gonna summon these people again.
My strength.
Look at how dangerous you are, man. Look at how threatening your face is.
So, what was I saying? So, yeah, this mother rhino and her baby were released into the wild, and then they were slaughtered by poachers within a couple days.
Yep. Well, India at this point has such a bad poaching problem that they've decided that if you see a poacher, you can just legally shoot them. Like, just no shit's given.
And like I was reading articles about, elephant tusks in Africa and how much China pays for them.
Oh god.
How much China pays for
homeopathic medicine, like
everything.
I'm okay with you taking like herbal replacements for Tylenol
like,
and whatnot.
Pepper whatever's.
But the sheer idiocy to presume that an elephant's tusk or tiger's teeth does anything for you is pure stupidity. And barbarism, pure and simple.
Oh, you're using his own staff? It's rising.
You've done it. Anakatos has been killed. But that energy that came from you, it raised the Hyperion. Without its magic to support the structure, this whole temple is coming down. We need to get out of here. Be cautious in these lands.
Loot him. So we get a Colossae. Oh, hello. Not a bad medallion. Not useful to us, and a lot of Essence of Fate. Why is it that this DLC has more to do with us being fateless
than the actual game?
than the actual game itself? Like, here, us being fateless truly has, quote-unquote, truly has an effect on the plot, whereas the previous one's like, you're the only one that can kill the dragon because you're the only one fated, well, without fate. It's like, yeah. But this
and the dragon was such a despicable end villain.
It wasn't bad.
The surrogate of all the Colossi savagery has been shifted. And as his fate was shifted, so is the fate of all the Colossi. Gone is the taint of savagery and barbarism.
See, I thought when he was saying he himself was beckoned, that he thought himself to be the chosen of the Colossi, and that he would purge...
So he actually sort of sacrificed himself
for
his people?
He didn't even quite have a change of heart so much as just like, oh, I was mistaken, alright, kill me. What?
Thy work for me has finished, Beckoned. Thou alone could do this, and as thou aided me, I am forever grateful.
There goes the tapestries.
Thou hast freed this people. Thee, Anakatos, Arcades, Beckoned, all. At the last, your faithful companion, Secondra. I beckon now.
Uh-oh. She's gonna kill her.
Need a leader for the glory that
Oh, she'll be
lies
Primos. Thank goodness.
Secondra will be Primos.
Called it.
I hear you.
Hey, Watson.
We knew that she'd be that, but when she said, oh, I beckon these people, they were all dead people.
That's
I'm
true.
Like, oh no.
But that just more or less means she had a purpose for these people. I'm still curious why we specifically needed to be here, apart from raising the Hyperion. But oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know why we didn't just catch a ride on the Hyperion up.
Because it would go too high.
What? But it would go straight into the city.
Is it going straight into the city? To be its heart?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yep.
That's what the hole in the city was for. Ugh. They really could have modeled it better for this view, because this is kind of a crappy cutscene.
It doesn't look like it's gold either.
No. Like, you get up close to that thing and it looks cool, but from there it's just like... Alright. Level up. Alchemy. Sorcery. I know. Lightning. Yay. Champion. Yay. You know, we still haven't seen our champion special ability where, like, we shoot stuff whenever we kill things.
Really?
I don't know why that isn't working. Oh well.
We made it. And you've seen what has happened. The Hyperion soars within our city. We can never thank you fully for your magic. One who wields the elements of Amalur with your ability needs robes to beget their skill. I hope these will serve. You have given us so much. I see the compassion and the influence the gods have had in my people's lives. My life. All along. What Arcais said to me on our last day together. What Athene said as we escaped the Hyperion Temple just now. These are no accidents. Your arrival, our meeting, Anakatos' betrayal and finding Arcais. These events were crafted intent. I see that now. And as you were beckoned to save my people, now I am beckoned to lead them. But I don't know. I don't know if I can.
I still think it's sort of sad that all these people were beckoned for some grand purpose, and it resulted in a lot of death and destruction. It's like, can you achieve your goals a different way?
By talking? Or, thinking? Nope, just punching.
I know. Arcais, my father, told me once, as a child, that the burden of leading the Colossi would fall to me. I thought him a liar, but the goddess has shown that none of us are ever truly forgotten. I think I might try, for a time at least. I will become the Primos, if they will have me. Now, let us return to the city, Beckoned. Let us see the fruits of your labor.
Yay! We now have location. Idela. Herald of the Gods, plus 2% experience bonus and extra bleeding damage resistance.
What?
Raising the Hyperion, you're a weaver of Idela's fate. Shape her destiny to all of the Colossi for ages to come. Yay! Alright, and we're done. Teeth of Naros is complete.
With the exception of side quests, which I assume you're not going to be doing.
No, I'm not. I'm probably not going to do the DLC. Well, not DLC.
What in the...
Oh, it's just a cave monster, whatever.
Random troll?
I guess we will close this out as we beat on this guy. So, answer. DLC, better than the actual game itself, even if it does kind of use a lot of the same writing tropes. Oh well, not that big of a deal. I still enjoyed it. It's probably also one of the prettier areas that we went through in this entire game.
Why are there still marauders?
Because, I mean, I don't know, you still have savages. They're not entirely all good, and mainly because they couldn't be ours to program these guys being redeemed.
Mm-hmm.
It works. I'm not going to complain about it too much. But yeah, awesome. So, we will see you guys on the last... I'm not going to say last episode, but the last section of Kingdoms of Amalur, The Legend of Dead Kel. See you guys then. Oh, more side quests. So many.